Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing awesome today. It's a little bit gray and dreary here today in Texas, and so that's why it is a little bit darker in my room. I didn't want to miss out on the chance of filming because I will be traveling this weekend for my sister's wedding, and it's just going to be a very, very busy week for me. My first Empties video. This is full of stuff. This is going to be mostly sample things. I am not quite to the point where I've run out of full-size items yet, so if y'all are curious as to what I have, just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. The first three products I'm going to show, they're not empties per se. There are products that I am going to hold off using for a while, and that makes me really sad because it's my Hurrah Balm, this Luxe Beauty Balm I got in the most recent Petit Vour box, and a sample of the Kahina Lip and Face Balm. In one of my more recent videos, I mentioned to y'all that I had a reaction to the baking soda in my toothpaste, so my lips were very swollen and irritated. And that really hasn't gone away. I'm not using a toothpaste with baking soda in it, but for some reason, lip balms have been really irritating on my mouth this month. And I don't know if it's because the weather's changing, it's gotten really cold here, and it's really dry. I already live in a dry area, and so winter can be a little bit more harsh on my skin because it just gets that much drier here where I live. And so for some, I don't know, my Hurrah Balm, this Beauty Balm, and this balm, I've tried using them. You know, when my lips were getting really swollen and irritated, the skin right around my mouth would get very, very dry and flaky. And so I was trying these balms to cure the dryness and then also use them on my mouth. You can still tell that my lips are a little bit dry, and I haven't been using any new balms. And so I have just taken a break from using these, and I think I've kind of narrowed it down to the ingredients that might be causing it, and those are olive oil, candelilla wax, and avocado seed oil, which is a really common ingredient in a lot of balms. For that reason, I stuck these in my Empties container because I didn't want to be tempted to use them. I am absolutely heartbroken to not be able to use my Hurrah Balm. I love this so much. And it might just be a winter thing. Maybe when it warms up in a couple of months, I might be able to use them again. But I have a feeling that by that time they'll have gone bad. I need to check the dates and how long these are good for. If you have also had something similar happen to you, please leave a comment down below because this is so new for me. I've never had a reaction to like this consistently to chapsticks and to balms, and so just leave me a comment down below. All I've been using is Aquaphor. That's the only thing that helps, and I don't love that, but it is the only thing that's working right now. The next item is the Well People Realist Invisible Setting Powder. This was the first setting powder that I bought when I switched over to Green Beauty. But this worked really, really well. It's completely gone. It did have a little bit of like a metallic-y smell. I don't know why. That's just the smell that I picked up. If you've used this and you also had that similar experience, just let me know down below. The consistency of it was more fine. And so sometimes it did feel a little bit harsh on my skin as a powder, versus their foundation powder, which is so soft. And then I used the Bio Brightener today, and that one seems to have a softer consistency. So, depending on how the Bio Brightener powder works for me, I may or may not repurchase this, but this was a great first product to use. The only con about it is that sometimes it did feel harsh on my skin, and it did have a little bit of a smell. The next item is the May Lindstrom Problem Solver. I got the sample size in an order from Citrine. They just threw it into my order, and I used it once, and I don't think I need a mask like this. It's very strong on my skin, and I didn't really notice a difference. I did have some breakouts on my chin around the time that I used it, and I did notice that they weren't as red and as irritated as they were, but I know that the full size of this is very, very expensive, and just for my skin type and my skin needs, I don't have a lot of breakouts that much. And so I think just for the purposes of my skin, this isn't something I would ever purchase because I just don't need it right now. It's a little bit too strong for my skin. This, it's not labeled, but this is the White and Elm Serum, and I'll go ahead and have all of the information of the samples I mentioned down below. But this I got in a sample with my order of their cleansing oil, and this worked fine. I enjoyed, I like using my serums in the morning, and I use a face oil at night, and I like serums because I feel like under makeup they sit really well. This was a tad bit oily for me. It seemed like it took a little bit longer to sink into my skin, but it worked just fine. I didn't have a reaction to it. It made my makeup go on really well. I would be interested in trying the full size of this because I kind of want to see how it performs more over a longer period of time, and I know that White and Elm has very good prices for their products. These are two Pacifica products. These were two of the first green beauty items I got. This is the Elite Multi-Mineral BB Cream all-in-one shade matching technology. I didn't even finish this. I can still feel product in there. I just felt like it didn't really work for my skin. It just felt like I was putting on something to moisturize my skin. I couldn't really tell a color. And it didn't really provide much coverage, so it didn't work for me, but I do think this would be really great for someone who is a very, very minimalist person who doesn't like wearing a lot of makeup at all. I think this would be really, really nice. And the next item from Pacifica is their Dreamy Youth Day and Night Face Cream. I used this before I got the Acura Day Cream and before I discovered face oils for my skin. And I used almost all of this, and one day I was just reading different ingredients of things that I had been trying, and this does have phenoxyethanol in it, which is not something I like to use personally. And so I just didn't really feel like this did much. Both of these came in one of their kits. It's a 4-piece kit. It had this, a little face wash, a lip quench, and that was it. It did absorb really well into the skin. I'm not really one to use creams anymore. I've been using only serums and oils for about a month and a half, and so I'm not quite sure when the next time I'm going to repurchase a face cream is, but this just wasn't very effective for me. This has phenoxyethanol in it. And I talked about this in my holiday sales collab video with Annie, is the Your Rock Feed Your Hold. Y'all know I have a mid full size. It's not the full size, but it's one of their sizes. This was my first green beauty hairspray that I used. I really, really love that it doesn't have alcohol in it, and it gives a nice hold without being sticky or crunchy. It has a very nice smell. I'll link my holiday sales video down below, but I repurchased this already. The next item is my Well People Expressionist Mascara. This, it still has some product in it, but it's been about 3 months since I've had it, and I'm trying to be really good about getting rid of mascaras within a 3-month time period, because you're not really supposed to keep them for very long, and it does kind of have a weird smell. Yeah, like it just smells like not good. This was really, really great. It does tend to smudge a little bit if you put it on your lower lash line, but I think this gives really nice volume and separation, and this is a really great layering mascara as well. The next item is the Vapour Illusionist Concealer in the color 020. This worked fine. It just happened to crease on me a lot, and just setting powder didn't really work for it, and so it creased a lot in my lines right there. It goes on really smooth, and it did provide nice coverage, but it creased on me, so that's why I won't be repurchasing this. But right now I'm pretty happy with the HYNT Beauty Concealer that I'm using. The next sample that I have is the Aster & Bay Rosewater Mist. I also talked about this in my holiday present video, and I think this was my first like rose water product that I use. I would absolutely repurchase this. I think it's a great product. It didn't irritate my skin. It's very gentle. It smelled really nice. The next item that I have is, it's not really an empty, but just a product I'm tossing. This is the Anastasia Brow Whiz in the color taupe. This is my last conventional item that I have. I am really a brow pencil person. I am trying to use a brow cream today. This was like my go-to pencil, and now I'm using the Honest Beauty eyebrow pencil, which is a really great dupe for this. It's a little bit harder to apply. The Honest Beauty pencil, I have to work a little bit more to get the coverage I want and kind of get the look that I want, but I'm really happy to be tossing this, and I'm glad that I found something that is a better alternative. The next item that I'm going to talk about is another mask. This is the Mahalo Pele mask, and I used this twice. The first time I used it with honey, and I felt like it wasn't effective at all. My skin seemed a little bit irritated the next day. The second time I used it, a few weeks later, I used it with water, and that seemed to work a little bit better. But I think I might have to try another sample before I decide if this is even necessary. Again, like the Problem Solver, I don't have very many breakouts, and so it might be too strong of a mask for my skin. I'm still not sure if I would repurchase this, just along the same reasons as the May Lindstrom Problem Solver. The next item is the Kjaer Weis Silken. This is a sample of their foundation, and I used this in my birthday get ready with me, and I think I would need to try a different shade. I have more yellow undertones to my skin, and this was almost like too pale on me, so I might need a little bit of a warmer shade, but this blends really nicely. A little bit goes a long way. I'll link that video down below because I do use a little bit too much at first. And so this was just really great. For the sample size, I got about 2 uses out of it. I am planning on getting another sample at some point because I do want to try a different shade, and I want to maybe try applying it with a different brush. I used a flat foundation brush, and I don't think that was the best way to do it. I know that a lot of people love the Kjaer Weis, but as of right now, I'm not 100% sold. The next thing I have is the RMS Beauty Unpowder. This is also a finishing setting powder, and I really enjoyed this. I think this worked absolutely wonderful on setting my under eye concealer, and so I do want to order the full size of this, possibly after I'm done with the Bio Brightener powder, or maybe I'll just have 2 setting powders that I use, one for my under eyes and then one for my face. But I did really like this. I feel like it set my concealer very well. I have a sample of the Skinny Organic Dry Shampoo in Grapefruit. It's really hard with this sample to decide if I would repurchase it or not, just because the application of a dry shampoo out of this was quite difficult. What I ended up doing was I would kind of like sprinkle it in my hair, and I took a big fluffy kabuki brush and I would just kind of brush it through that way. I think I would need to get the full size to decide if this is something I love or don't love, and luckily the full size comes with like a little like salt shaker type of top, and so this worked fine. It is the grapefruit scent, but I can't really smell it. The next item is the Kypris Antioxidant Dew. I absolutely loved this. I used this in the morning. Lola over at Lola's Green Maquillage suggested to me to mix half of the Kypris Antioxidant Dew with half of my face serum, and that seemed to work absolutely wonderful. It just sunk into my face so well. It provided an amazing base for my makeup, and I absolutely want the full size of it, but because of the price point it's at, I'm not able to purchase it right now. This was great. I love it. I want the full size, and hopefully I will get it for Christmas. Is a sample of the May Lindstrom Honey Mud Mask. I did get this from Spirit Beauty Lounge with their sample program, and this still smells absolutely wonderful, and it smells just like white chocolate honey. It is a little bit more expensive. The full size is $80. I only got about 3 or 4 uses out of this, and I used it each time as a mask, and my skin felt really nice, but I think I would need to get like 2 other samples at the same time that I can use consecutively to see long term, or the most long term I could get from a sample, if it would work for me. I liked how it made my skin feel. I like how it smells, but long term, I don't know how it would work for my skin. Okay guys, so that's it for my empties. These are empties that I've accumulated since I switched over to Green Beauty in September. I hope this was helpful for you. If y'all have used any of these products, leave a comment down below and let me know your experience on the product, if you liked it, if you didn't, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye guys.